So, one of the things that I love about my job is that I work in a technology industry. And this is an industry, as many of you know, that changes at an incredibly rapid pace. An incredibly rapid pace. And, what we really want to do at the end of the day is we want to make sure that our customers are successful. We want to make sure that our customers succeed, that you succeed with your customers in entirely new ways. And if you think about the changes in technology, again, we go back to the mainframe and we talk about the connections that have been made with the mainframe, right? There were mainframes. There was a mainframe connection with an SNA terminal. There was thousands of connections. And then we went to the client-server model, another change in the computing paradigm that went to establish millions of connections. And then today we live in a world, an incredible world when you think about it, where we have this perfect storm. We have this absolute convergence of cloud technology and mobile technology and social technology and now data science technology. And that has resulted in billions of connected things. Billions of connected things and trillions of customer interactions. And it has created an enormous amount of data in the world that requires this data science and smart intelligence and predictive intelligence. This is the world that we live in today. And what's interesting about this perfect storm, this convergence, is that it creates opportunity. It creates opportunity for companies and organizations and people and governments to change the way that they do business, to innovate, to transform, to change business models, to unshackle themselves from legacy technology and legacy business processes that have been around for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. That's a long time. But this is a revolution. This is a change. And this is the world that we live in today. And there are examples all over the world of organizations that take advantage of this technology and they drive change. They change the world. They disrupt. There's a company called Uber. I'm sure you've all heard of it. And today, when you go around the world and talk to senior executives, and I get the opportunity to do this, there's a phrase that they use. Their concern is that they do not want to be Uberized. Okay? Now, it used to be that, for example, if you were a brick-and-mortar retailer, you would use the expression that says, I don't want to be Amazoned. Well, now, they talk about Uber. And interestingly enough, here in the UK, Uber is using cloud and mobile and social technologies and data science to change the game, to relieve the congestion, for example, that we have in traffic in London. What a great idea. And they're doing it by leveraging all these technologies and doing route optimizations and pooling resources and ride sharing, Uber Pool, if you're familiar with that. And Uber is changing the game. They are disrupting the market. They are changing business models. And then locally, we have a company here called TNT, the trucking company. And they are leveraging these technologies to also do route optimization and to connect with their customers and become closer with their customers and be able to respond with mobile technologies to a call center to make sure that at a moment's notice, they can adjust their routes and serve their customers and make their customers feel successful. And then, of course, there's another company that you may have heard of. It's called Fitbit. I'm a Fitbit customer. I don't know how many of you are Fitbit customers, but I have one on my sleeve with my James Bond cufflinks. And right now it's telling me how many steps I'm taking because I have a goal of getting to 10,000 steps. And I'm part of a community where I can compete and collaborate with others who are keeping track of my steps. But the beauty of Fitbit is that it takes advantage of cloud and mobile and social and data science technologies. And it is monitoring characteristics about my behavior right now. So it knows how many steps, it's going to know my heart rate, pretty soon it's going to know my blood pressure, it knows my sleeping patterns. Of course, I don't sleep very much, so that's kind of a waste of time. But it is taking care of these characteristics. And this will change the game for healthcare. It will change business models in healthcare. And the reason why is because now my healthcare provider knows more about how to take care of me proactively than ever before. And that's what's happening in the world. That's what happens when you have these amazing technologies. And as much of a paradigm shift that there may have been with the first wave of computing and the second wave of computing, we are in rarefied air right now. We are in a place that technology has never been in before. We are in the perfect storm in such a great way to be able to innovate, to be able to transform, to be able to make your customers succeed, to drive customer success. We have never, ever, ever in the history of this world been in this type of place. And what's interesting about all of these technologies right now, what's really super interesting to me, is that the barrier to creative disruption, has never been lower. And the opportunity to innovate and transform, it's never been higher. It has never been higher. And the companies who take advantage of this succeed. The companies who take advantage of this succeed. They change the world. And the technology is here: cloud, social, mobile, data science. Okay? So this means that you disrupt or you be disrupted. You engage or you disengage. You're disengaged. So I think it's incumbent upon all of us. This is a shared opportunity for all of us, Salesforce, customers, partners, to change the world, to innovate, to transform, to do something different, to create innovation, to bring back to society, to drive success with our customers. This is our opportunity. It's here, it's now, it's right before us, it's in our hands, and it's incumbent upon us to seize this moment. This is what it's all about. It's right here. We are in an unprecedented state right now. But there's a problem and an opportunity. And that problem and opportunity is something called the technology gap. So what's interesting, if you listen to Mary about what's going on at Coder Dojo, we have this entire generation of people who have been exposed to social and mobile technologies and cloud technologies. They grow up with it as consumers. It's part of their everyday life. They live with it. It's part of all of our lives right now. We've trained ourselves to use this mobile technology, to use this cloud technology, to use this social technology. And now, because of companies like Twitter and Facebook, we have 2.3 billion social users. Can you believe it? Over 2.3 billion social users here in the world. And by 2017, we will have 5 billion smartphones in the world. That's incredible. And the power of each one of these smartphones, it's more powerful than a mainframe. We are all carrying mainframes around in our pockets. That's kind of incredible. Now, I happen to have my phone in my pocket somewhere, and the question I have for you is, how many of you have a smartphone? You raise your hand. I'm sure more of you have smartphones than you're admitting. How many of you really have smartphones? Raise your hands. Hold them up high. Okay? How many of you have 2 smartphones? Aha. Sir, what does that say about you? You quickly put your hand down. What does it say about you that you have 2 smartphones? What does it say about you that you have 2 smartphones? You actually don't have to answer this question, but are you part of MI5? Are you part of MI6? Okay, I was just checking. Anyway, we have this incredible technology gap because customers demand the leverage of social, mobile, and cloud technologies. And you're doing business with a company, your company, perhaps in your audience. And the challenge is, the gap is that your company, not necessarily yours, but the company that's trying to do business with these customers, they're running legacy technology. They're running old software. They have silos of data. Silos of data. And you know what's a real problem about silos of data? Let me just give you a staggering statistic, besides the fact that you can't respond to a customer. 90% of the world's data has been created in the last year. And that's not slowing down. Imagine how much data will have been created in the next 3 years. And so when you have silos of data and you're accelerating the pace and creation of data, created with billions and trillions of connected devices and transactions, it just compounds the problem. It creates tension. It creates frustration. It widens and broadens this technology gap. This is a problem and it's an opportunity because companies cannot respond to this new wave of very sophisticated customers who understand social and mobile and cloud technology. It puts enormous tension in the system. And of course, what that results in is a customer gap. And it's a huge customer gap, and it's a huge opportunity. 77% of customers are not engaged with companies. Now, they do transactions with companies, and that's okay, but they don't have personalized relationships with companies. They don't have strategic relationships with companies. They transact with companies. And as consumers and customers of any company, we don't want a transactional relationship. We want you to know who we are. We want a personalized journey. We want a strategic relationship. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. And as companies who serve these customers, of course, we want to be able to provide that. And what's interesting is many companies have organized around the legacy systems and the legacy processes and the legacy technologies and the silos of information. we have sales organizations, we have service organizations, we have marketing organizations. But the lines have blurred between sales and service and marketing. In fact, over 70% of every sale, it comes from service, which highlights the importance of service. So we have this technology gap that's created this customer gap based on legacy technology and legacy processes, colliding this tension, this natural friction with social cloud and mobile. What are we going to do? How do we solve this problem? Well, the answer is Salesforce's customer success platform that allows you to succeed with your customers in an entirely new way, a disruptive way, an innovative way, a transformational way. And it's really based on three things. It's based on a complete set of CRM applications. It is based on an incredibly robust multi-tenant cloud platform. And of course, what makes everything work, no matter what kind of technology you have, are people, like people in this audience. And an incredibly open ecosystem of people who are here to make you successful and make your company successful, and therefore make your customers successful. And you know what's interesting is if you look at companies and you study companies, and you know what? We all know about companies. We belong to a company. We belong to an organization. We're consumers of companies. We're customers of companies. But every company has a different priority. Some companies would sit there and say, you know what's important to us? Profitability is super important to us. Some companies would say employees are very important to us. And some companies would say that partners, for example, are very important to us. But the most successful companies in the world always, always, always pivot to the customer. And they put customers and customer success as the center of their universe. That is what makes companies the most successful customer companies in the world. Those that focus on customer success and put the customer at the center of the universe. And that's what the Customer Success Platform helps you do. That's what the Customer Success Platform is all about. So let me just take you through this very quickly. So, the world's most complete CRM, a suite of applications that are integrated, that are complete, that are robust, that are based on incredibly rich, functionally rich cloud technologies. At Salesforce, our Customer Success Platform, it all started back in 1999 with this flagship product we call the Sales Cloud, which was the number SFA, Salesforce automation technology in the world. And oh, by the way, Gartner recently recognized this again, 3 years in a row, as the world's most complete CRM, the #1 CRM in the world. And Sales Cloud continues to drive profitability and customer engagement and customer relationships today. It's a very important part of our customer success platform. And then we moved into the world of service with Service Cloud. And you know what's interesting is when I talk to companies and senior executives around the world and we talk about service, they view service as a key differentiator. That's how they differentiate themselves from the competitors. And a lot of companies nowadays are trying to change their service model and become service companies. Companies like GE, companies like here in Europe, in Philips, they are trying to change into service models because they want to be able to engage. It goes back to that statistic I gave you earlier, about 70% of the sales in the world come from service. And of course, we have marketing automation. We have the world's best marketing automation, which allows you to drive those personalized one-to-one journeys. So you're not a transaction. You don't want that relationship. You want to have that strategic relationship, and that's what marketing automation is all about. And then, of course, we have our community cloud, which is all about best practices and collaboration and productivity. And those communities can be established between employees and partners and customers. And then recently in November at Dreamforce, we announced our latest cloud, which was Wave, our analytics cloud. And this is really about the democratization of analytics. This is analytics on a mobile device right here on my phone. All of our employees at Salesforce actually use analytics. And this is not traditional BI. This is not about asking for a report or an analysis and you have to wait 6 weeks, 3 months. It's right here on your phone, complete analytics. This is all about empowerment. And then we have the Lightning platform, where you can deploy and build the fastest, most flexible, most agile applications in the world, all for your mobile device. And it has created a community of citizen developers that are out there building these incredible applications. And that is what the world's most complete CRM is all about. And then the second leg is all about customer success and the customer success ecosystem and the services that are associated with that. You know, I mentioned this earlier. We have an incredible ecosystem of systems integrators. These are global in nature. These are local in nature. These are highly specialized. Again, a local one here, acquired just by Accenture, which was Tequila. But of course, there's Accenture, there's Deloitte, there's Cloud Sherpas, there are others, and these are people who are laser focused on driving success, because at the end of the day, it is all about customer success. And then, of course, we have customer success services. These are people that you can employ and deploy in your programs to make sure that you're implementing properly, that you're driving adoption, because in the cloud model, adoption is everything. These are architects, these are centers of excellence, and there are certifications with Salesforce University. And then we have a program called Ignite. Ignite is a service that we provide. It's free, it's advisory, and it's all about painting a vision for disruptive change and innovation and transformation. It is about painting the art of the possible. And that's what Ignite is all about. And if you haven't had the experience of an Ignite, I would ask you to take on an Ignite, go talk to your Salesforce representative, and see what Ignite can do for you. And then, of course, the day that you become a customer of ours, you get assigned a customer success service manager, and these people wake up every day. This is all they do. They make sure that they drive value for you, they drive adoption for you, and they make sure that you are successful so your customers will be successful. And then finally, we have a bunch of software vendors who build on our platform, who solve business problems for you. Again, whether it's an industry problem, whether it is a horizontal challenge or an opportunity, but they drive value, they drive benefits, and that's what customer success software vendors are all about. So this incredible ecosystem of services and technology, it is here to drive success for you. And all of these things allow you to focus on innovation, not infrastructure. You know, I had a conversation recently with the COO of one of the largest financial services institutions in the world. And I asked a simple question, and the question was this: how much of your budget do you spend on innovation? And the answer was 10%. The other 90% was all about maintaining legacy systems that add no value. And that was a staggering answer to me. And I think it was a staggering realization for him. You know, the beauty of innovation, the beauty of Salesforce, the beauty of our cloud, the beauty of our absolute robust, best-in-class CRM suite is that you don't have to focus on those things anymore. You don't have to focus on security. You don't have to focus on compliance. You don't have to focus on the back end. Let us worry about that. You want to focus on innovation. Your CEOs want you to focus on innovation. How about if we inverse this so that 90% of your budgets are focused on innovation and only 10% are focused on infrastructure? You want to talk about a revolution in technology? That's where we want to go. That's what we need to do. Focus on innovation. Don't focus on infrastructure. Let us take care of the back end and help you innovate. Let us do this jointly. Let us succeed together. Let us focus our resources on changing the world, changing business models, changing innovation, and driving success for your customers, our customers. Let's do this together. That allows us to focus on innovation, not infrastructure. So there we have it. It all leads to this incredible customer success platform. And you know what? We don't just talk the talk, we walk the walk. It's important for us to measure, to prove exactly what's going on here. You know, and every 6 months we do a survey of our customers. We survey thousands of our customers every 6 months because we want to know that we are listening and we are being inspired by you. We are being motivated by you. We are being energized by you. We want to know. And we ask these questions about revenue growth. Thousands of customers every 6 months. And the average response is that we drive, because of the customer success platform, over 32% revenue growth. That's what we've enabled you as customers to do. And then 52% faster application deployment. That means that we can create this army together collectively of citizen developers to rationalize your portfolio of applications, to retire backlog so that you can focus on innovation. And then 85% of the customers that we survey, these thousands of customers that we survey every 6 months, they would recommend Salesforce to a colleague. Now, I will tell you, we're very proud of that statistic, but we will not rest. And my commitment, our commitment to you in the UK, is that we will not rest until we have 100% recommendations that you would make to about Salesforce to a colleague, because only then do we know that we have driven customer success for each and every one of you in the audience. And that, at Salesforce, is our absolute commitment to you.